Let's say you're trying to conceive. You think you're planning it, but a woman's body decides whether it can carry a child now or not. If a woman doesn't have enough energy even for one person, then why would the body engage for two? And most women nowadays don't have enough energy even for themselves. Therefore, before conception, you need to read the methodical guide, start staying in water, do static exercises, prolonged continuous movement, fasting, and all recommendations that fill a person with energy. You need to read everything and do it. There are some general rules and techniques that are acceptable for everyone. It is cleansing of the blockages in the energy layers and filling the body with energy. And everyone has to do this the same way. This is called preparation for conception, filling up with energy. For example, cerebral palsy and autism are caused by a lack of energy. For instance, if a mother lacks energy in the 5th energy layer, the child will also lack it. When the mother lacks energy, she just feels weakness, apathy, but the child will have autism. But if she had worked on herself, nothing like this would have happened, and she would have given birth to a normal child, that's all. Therefore, you just have to prepare, listen to lectures, and read the methodical guide. You have the guide. You can download it, read it, and follow everything, okay?
Thank you.
If there are any difficulties with conception, we provide consultations on healthy lifestyle. You can make an appointment for this consultation. There are several options. You can, for example, just communicate with my assistants. If you want me to be involved, it will cost more. I will test the subtle energy body and tell you where the dangers are, and my assistants will convey this to you. So there are different options. You can work with the methodical guide on your own. You can work with my assistant. You can also involve me. Choose what suits you. We have a new methodology now. It started working about 2 months ago. We have developed such a methodology that is based on doTERRA essential oils. We invited 10 women suffering from infertility, and I individually selected a blend of essential oils for each of them to treat this infertility. And then we conducted research and found that for all other women, one of these 10 oils is suitable. And also we work with various other diseases: male infertility, female infertility, treatment of endometriosis, myoma, female cysts, breast cysts, prostatitis, prostate tumors. We treat all of these 8 types of diseases. We individually select essential oils and send them to the person. It's about a year and a half course. They apply it to their ears. This way the functions we specified are activated. So we can select oils for both men and women if there are difficulties with conception. If there aren't any, then you don't need to do this. So there are different options. You can just cleanse the blockages in the energy layers. But if difficulties arise, you can select essential oils. Let's ask the lady in black.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. I'm going through a very difficult period in my life. I love your lectures. Here's my question. I've experienced betrayal in my life. My child's father left me when I was 30 weeks pregnant. He said he wasn't ready to take responsibility, although we had lived together for a year before that.
Then he shouldn't get intimate. What does it mean? Not ready to take responsibility? You sleep with a woman, then she gets pregnant, and you're not ready to take responsibility? This isn't masculine thinking at all. What does it mean? Then don't get married at all. What nonsense is that?
I have a daughter. She's 3 years old. We're doing well. But he's not involved in her life at all.
What were you looking at when you married him? What were you looking at?
Everyone makes mistakes, unfortunately. And I have a question. Now I can't arrange my personal life at all, although I won't say that I'm really trying. I'm not doing anything in my life. I just spend time with my child. I can't meet anyone. Is this my fate? It's a very difficult period.
Yes, you had a very difficult period that lasted almost 3 years. But it's over. It ended a month and a half ago. And now there's a possibility to meet someone. But you should fill yourself with energy a bit. You're exhausted. In this state, you won't be able to meet anyone. You need to read the methodical guide, restore your energy, read prayers, communicate with friends. That means you have to elevate your consciousness, prepare yourself for marriage, become stronger as a person.
What if I have no desire to look for someone or get married?
Then why are you asking me?
You misunderstood.
Imagine a person came to a supermarket, was shown all the goods there, and then said, "But actually I don't have any desire to buy anything, I'm leaving."
I mean, I would like to get married, but what if it's not working out?
So what's your actual question to me?
Do I have any chances to get married at all?
Excellent question. Thank you. My dear ladies, I'm telling this to all of you. According to fate, everything is arranged in such an interesting way that if you have no desire to invest in this, neither of you will get married, that's for sure. Whether it's your fate or not, doesn't matter at all, because to get married, you need to sweep a man off his feet. He must see your beauty, to be struck by it, to blush, to turn pale, to struggle, and then, exhausted, he should say, "Okay, let's get married. I understand there's no way out." That's approximately how it all happens, but I don't know how you imagine this. But what normal person would suddenly take responsibility for a woman with a child and support her? Why would he need this? Only love can make a person do such things, and love is energy. And for someone to fall in love, you have to invest in it. It's not like you're sitting in your room and suddenly he appears. Let's say the ceiling opens up. By the way, I always talk about this, and then somebody told me that such a story actually happened. There was renovation work upstairs, and a person fell through the ceiling and met a woman. Well, I think this rarely happens. Generally, you have to make some effort to get married, and that's why this is such a great question. You asked it so well. I don't want to do anything. Will I get married? No, it won't work out like this. If you do something for this, you'll get married. If you don't want to do anything, you won't. I'm telling you this with 100% certainty.
Thank you, Dr. Torsunov. You're amazing.
Good. Something needs to be done. As the song goes, she appeared with a flying gait and disappeared from sight in January's haze. I remember you. Next question. Sir, your question. The man looks very serious. Life must be hard for him.
Hello, Dr. Torsunov. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your great educational work. I also wanted to say that we have a very high-quality audience here.
Yes, very good people come here. To be honest, I'm not even worthy of such people.
And here's my question. Can there be a situation when your harsh fate, or perhaps even cruel fate, meets with the insurmountable fate of your loved one? And in this case, what should people do? To be more specific, I give an example. My wife, a good person, has somehow gone severely and irreversibly into degradation.
What happened to her? Did she break down? Is she drinking or something?
The full package. Drugs, alcohol, promiscuity, dancing, foolishness, fights.
It started about 7 months ago, right?
No, probably longer than that.
What was the trigger? What happened? Why did it start like this?
Well, probably the birth of a child. And in general, she has a difficult fate.
Is she tired? Did she get exhausted from having the baby?
Possibly. I can't diagnose it exactly.
Has she left you, or does she live with you?
We live together sometimes and separately at other times.
Here's how I see the situation. She has a cruel fate. You said it correctly. You don't have a cruel fate, but she does. It started 7 months ago and it will end in 3 months. You definitely need to wait for 3 months, because when a person is being hit hard by fate, it's difficult to find any pattern in it. All people break down sometimes. But in 3 months, if she doesn't start changing, then you should think about what to do next, because then you can understand the pattern in all of this. How did she behave before this period started 7 months ago?
Well, she behaved more calmly until last May. But then she started throwing tantrums. We were in India for 6 months.
This could be overheating. This could be a trigger for the situation. Last May wasn't yet a bad period, but she could have overheated. People often don't understand that climate can have a profound effect on health and on life. It seems the sun had a serious impact on her. She couldn't handle the stress and started throwing tantrums, right? She came back after that?
She started throwing tantrums there.
Well, that's how the climate affects people. That's how the sun affects people. A person simply moves to a different climate, different sun, and completely goes crazy. That's what happened to her. I know many such examples. She started having tantrums, probably had disturbed sleep, and began to behave very irritably, tearfully. That's how the sun affects people.
But according to your methodology, I think she lacks the strength, energy of the sun in general.
She severely lacks water energy, and after some time, a bad period began, and it's now in full force. The bad period is influencing a lot, and drinking indicates a lack of water energy. But right now, she's experiencing a very severe energy deficiency, very severe.
In this life situation, I realize I have to wait for a while.
Yes, treat her kindly. If she wants to change, it never hurts to go to a swimming pool. She should stay in the 28-degree water for 70 minutes to cleanse all 5 layers. If she can't do static exercises, then at least she should sit near trees. She should do some simple techniques that will start filling her with energy and somehow bringing her back to order. Well, she surely lacks water energy, but there's also a slight lack of air energy. I don't see major problems with the energy of the sun. She just can't tolerate very hot sun. Well, mainly because of the lack of water energy. She's a very sensitive and naturally vulnerable person. But right now her state is out of control.
If we analyze the question, it's impossible to live like this for a long time in such a situation.
Yes, you can live separately, but don't abandon her. I agree that if a person is in an inadequate state, it's impossible to live with them, and there's no need. That means God doesn't force a person to die for a loved one. You just have to understand one thing. God is counting on you now, hoping that you will make a reasonable, right decision. That you won't break a relationship now with a person who has fallen into trouble. You need to wait a little, and maybe kindly help her, encourage her towards a healthy lifestyle to recover. Most often, all these issues that happen to people arise from lack of energy. When a bad period comes, water energy drops significantly, the person starts drinking. Or if air energy drops, they start smoking or watching movies all day long. Or if the energy of the sun drops, they start cheating or eating all day. All this happens from inner powerlessness. The person can't cope with themselves. Most people perceive this as some kind of philosophical problem. It seems like it's a philosophical problem that the person simply doesn't want to live normally. That's what most people think, but in reality they simply can't. And in this situation, when a person can't cope, you should show kindness. What does kindness mean? It means being able to help the person and somehow pull them to where they will recover. And if at this point the person doesn't want to recover, then you need to set a deadline. Well, you don't know when the bad period will end, but I clearly told you that a bad period in her life will end in 3 months. And this is exactly the deadline you need to set to determine later. Either she will feel better on her own and will slowly start recovering or not. You should gradually get her used to a healthy lifestyle and be ready that relapses will be inevitable anyway. But also there is a possibility that nothing will help her, that this whole ignorant lifestyle has turned into a pattern for her. That means she doesn't want a healthy lifestyle, doesn't want to change, doesn't want anything, just wants to drink and die. Well, then there's no point in going into the coffin with her. Therefore, you should wait until the bad period passes and try to pull her out. And this can only be done with kindness. Kindness is the foundation for overcoming fate. Kindness means that you don't give in to all these provocations, because people usually become harsh during bad periods. They behave very aggressively. And you should resist it. Try to be kind anyway. But to resist, you need to keep your distance. Because when a person is aggressive, they burn your subtle energy. They don't let you live normally. And then you lose your kindness. You can't tune into kindness anymore, because whenever a cruel fate comes, you should increase the distance. If fate is normal, we get closer. If fate is difficult, we separate a little.
I understood about the 3 months of bad period. How to understand, for example, that this story can be ended. How long should I wait after her bad period ends? Because this bad period has been going on for almost 1.5 years. And how is this connected to my fate?
Your bad period will last for 4 more months and then it ends. I think that after 3 months, in 2-3 months, you can make some decisions.
But you often say that a person shouldn't initiate divorce themselves.
Live separately, set conditions. If the conditions are not met, get divorced. You are not obligated to spend your whole life on your wife. You are obligated to help her in trouble if she wants to help herself. However, if she doesn't want help, doesn't want to change her life, then you are not obligated to commit suicide because of this person.
I understand.
So you should wait for 3 months and then set another conditional period of 3 months. That's all. After that, good fate begins for both of you. And during this time, if she still throws tantrums and doesn't care about anything, then you should live separately. You can either divorce or wait a little longer, set some deadline for her. But in any case, you can't do anything for 3 months now, because if you do, you will be punished by God. If you make some decision in 6 months, I don't see any punishment.
I told her I'd wait until the new year.
You see, so your inner feeling and mind don't contradict each other.
Thank you very much.
There's a woman in glasses.
I can't make up my mind about the choice of profession.
It's generally difficult for you to do anything now. You're tired and exhausted. And as a woman, you want a comfortable job where everything would be good, but you don't like working at all.
Yes, I want to like my work and get paid for it.
You don't like working at all. What do you do? What is your occupation?
Before maternity leave, I worked in accounting. I haven't worked since maternity leave.
Usually, if people are not successful in their work, then they study to become a psychologist or an astrologer. These are the two options. I have an acquaintance whose business failed. I ask, "How are you?" He says, "Fine." I ask, "What do you do?" He says, "I became a business coach." If your business failed, then you need to become a business coach, become a teacher, so everyone's business can fail. Well, isn't accounting okay for you?
I don't really like it.
You just need to work there.
I prefer creative work more.
Creative? What then? What options?
Painting pictures.
Will people buy them?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's difficult to decide.
Then engage in accounting. And you can paint pictures too, try it out. Maybe your paintings will be so cool that everyone would want to buy them, but in general, in the modern world, artists earn more through showing off. This is my experience. Sometimes they paint such nonsense. And just because they have good connections, their paintings are exhibited at cool exhibitions and get promoted. People say that a very cool artist painted the black square. And this black square is such a cool painting, simply priceless. Nobody else thought of painting a black square in a frame like that. And it costs a ton of money. For what? It's not clear. That means if we talk about this artistic business nowadays, it's mainly just about showing off and finding opportunities through connections. I once saw a guy on the internet and I was very surprised. He had a long pencil attached to each finger on both hands. I don't know why he hadn't attached them to his feet too. There was a very long canvas and he was waving his hands. Have you seen it? Who has seen it? And he kept doing it further and further. He had all kinds of scribbles there. And this painting was immediately bought for $15,000 or $150,000. I didn't understand it at all. Therefore, regarding painting now, it's completely unclear. For example, people don't paint like Shishkin, Ivazovsky, or Repin. Nobody paints like that, but they paint something of their own and think it should cost very much.
Thank you for the answer.
But accounting will definitely give you money. You know, it's very good that you asked me this question today because this is our lecture topic. Now I'll tell people something using your example. This woman has been going through this for 1 year and 2 months. That means the person is lacking about 20% of air energy now. This is a critical shortage. And when there's such a severe lack of air energy, it's very difficult for a person to work. Really very difficult to work. Even just concentrating is very difficult. As usual, people don't understand what's happening. Just such a shortage occurred. She doesn't understand that she lacks air energy. She just lives and can't work. It's been happening for a whole year and she thinks, maybe I'm just like this. That means people start considering energy shortages as their second nature. That means she thinks, well, I'm just like this. It's very difficult for me to concentrate, very difficult to count. I can't do accounting because I don't have the strength for it now. And she makes a decision. Maybe I should become an artist or do something else, because the person really thinks that they are now like this. You know what I can only compare this to? It's like a person hitting their head against a wall and forgetting that they need to eat. They just forget. And they come to a psychologist and say, I have some weakness, my hands are shaking and I'm losing weight. What do I need to change in my character? The psychologist says, you need to smile more and enjoy life. They come next time and say, I'm smiling, enjoying life, and it's gotten a bit easier, but I'm still losing weight, my hands are shaking. They just need to eat. But the person really starts to consider themselves like this. They are convinced that they are naturally like this, thin, with shaking hands. But they are simply not eating enough. Similarly here, we don't understand that we lack energy. This is how we live. We're used to living like this. We're used to constant energy weakness. A person gets accustomed to it and becomes convinced that this is their natural state now, that it's hard for them to concentrate. They're constantly tired and have no strength. This is your current situation. And you think you're convinced that this is how you are now, but you're absolutely not like that. If you start staying in water, doing static exercises, doing prolonged continuous movement, it's exactly this prolonged continuous movement that will save you, because you lack prana energy. But if you only do prolonged continuous movement, your water energy will start burning out. So there's a specific technology for how everything should be done. You must always start with water. Then after water, you should pump up the next energies. If you do everything according to our methodology, the bad period will end by itself in 2 months. Energy won't recover after this. The bad period will end, but weakness will still remain, though it won't intensify as it does now. If you start doing these healing practices now, in about 3 months you'll recover completely and will want to be an accountant. Because you'll have strength, because it's so cool. It's so cool to earn money as an accountant. You don't stress much there. You take a couple of companies, do some calculations, submit a report, and boom, you get paid for the month. It's the kind of job that's not really stressful, actually. You can do calculations at your own pace when you have time. It's such a cool job. Who here is an accountant? Raise your hand. This kind of work is cool, isn't it?
It's totally cool. Just great. I love it.
You see, she did a little work there, and that's it. You can chat with a friend. Hello, how are you? There is no need to go anywhere. You can do everything at home, bring the report, and you're all set. What don't you like about it?
The thing is, I'm planning IVF.
My dear, what IVF? Right now you need to recover your energy. What IVF? You'll immediately get morning sickness. You don't have enough energy. If you get pregnant now, you'll immediately get morning sickness. It will be bad. You'll be barely surviving. I advise everyone to first recover their energy and then do whatever you want, either IVF or some natural methods. Now it is not the time, my dear, no IVF. Cancel the procedure. You need to recover for at least half a year and only then do IVF. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. You can't even sleep properly. Your sleep is disturbed. You have no strength. Are your hands not shaking? What IVF? Let's recover first. No IVF is possible now. Most likely it won't even work for you. You'll just waste your money and that's it. No, you need to recover now. Why do you think I asked you? The woman next to you raised her hand, but I didn't ask her, I asked you.
I don't know.
Because you're too weak and unhealthy. I can see how people look. Is it clear or not?
Everything is clear, thank you very much.
Your question?
Dr. Torsunov, thank you for asking me. I'm very happy to see you. Really very happy.
Yes?
Yes.
Today I was walking in the park, just breathing fresh air, and 2 people greeted me the same way. Hello, Dr. Torsunov. Yes, your question.
My question is this. I'm trying to lead a healthy lifestyle, and I run, pray, and got rid of bad habits. Some time ago, I quit smoking. I'm very happy that I quit. I smoked for a long time, and now I don't smoke, and I don't plan to, but I want to eat all the time. Before this, I had a certain balance in my meals. Everything suited me, I had everything scheduled by the hour, everything was good. But when I quit smoking, I realized that
You have a severe deficiency of the energy of the sun. You've done very well with water and air energies, but you're lacking the energy of the sun. When there's a sun energy deficiency, night eating begins. You want to eat especially in the evening, right? More in the second half of the day?
In the second half and at lunch. Actually, I want to eat all the time.
Do you add enough oil to your vegetarian food? Do you have enough oil and protein in your food?
Protein, yes, but oil probably not.
That's the problem. Many people simply don't have the knowledge of how to eat without meat and fish. You think vegetarian food is lean food, but it's not. When you take a piece of meat, if you squeeze it hard, it has 40% fat. Meat simply always has a lot of fat. When meat is being fried, it starts melting because fat leaks out of it. And therefore, those who eat meat severely limit oil. They're told not to eat oil, that all this is harmful, but this is only for those who eat meat. And those who don't eat meat need to necessarily add oil to rice and to vegetables. Everything needs to be oiled.
Which oil is better to use, sunflower or clarified butter?
Sunflower oil isn't suitable for you. It's actually suitable for very few people. There are several best oils. One of them is avocado oil. It's very good energetically. Then comes corn oil. It is better than sunflower oil anyway. It acts more gently. Clarified butter is very good too. It's the best of all for cooking and for everything else. It's very well absorbed by all people, so clarified butter is excellent. Then many people find grapeseed oil suitable. Grape oil would also suit you. Cottonseed oil is good too. If you can find it, you can order it. Avocado oil and clarified butter are definitely suitable for you. Olive oil too, though it's quite caustic. It's not suitable for everyone, especially in our climate. It's more suitable for sunnier climates. So we have avocado and corn oil, and flaxseed oil is also good oil. You can add it too. You won't eat much of it, but it's generally beneficial.
What about sesame oil?
Sesame oil isn't very suitable for you. Add more oil to your food and eat more dairy protein, and your desire to eat will disappear, because your desire to eat comes from poor absorption of food. Without oil, food isn't absorbed. You're working for the toilet right now. Everything passes through in transit.
I understand, thank you.
That's it. Try to add oil to food and also oil yourself externally too. Sesame oil is suitable for you for external use. You should apply white sesame oil in the morning. When you've washed and your skin is moist, you can apply 5 drops for the whole body, rub it in, and then dry with a towel. Only the smell of oil remains. You can't even see it. And go like that. I've been oiling my body with coconut oil for 20 years now. I apply it to wet skin. It's very beneficial for health. Is everything clear? Your question, lady in the second row.
Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. Thank you for everything. I've been listening to you for a long time, but haven't attended lectures very often. I wanted to ask about overcoming fate, according to our topic. During your last lecture, I tried to ask about my husband's anger. I listen to you, read, and think that these are probably my problems, my hang-ups. I should surround him even more with kind light and love to make everything okay. But it all resulted in a nervous breakdown.
Whose?
My husband's.
Why?
He got so angry, yelled so much, argued so much that for this whole year, since last summer and until now, he's not working because he physically couldn't work. At first, we didn't understand what was happening at all, but I somehow subconsciously realized that he lost his mind.
Does he drink or smoke anything?
He smokes a lot.
He has an air deficiency. He can't work because he has no strength. He needs to do all the methods, sit in water, do static exercises, do prolonged continuous movement.
He's afraid to sit for long periods, and everything reached such a critical point that the ambulance started coming 3 times a day. Gradually he began to obey and now takes 40-minute walks. And then it really got easier. Now we found a neurologist specialist who prescribed him some pills, and it seems they help. He's feeling better.
These are all external things. He needs to change his lifestyle. He's going through a bad period now that will end in about 6 months. But that doesn't change anything. His energy is already depleted and needs to be replenished. He has to change his lifestyle or his life will be destroyed. So you see, if you weren't his wife who listens to lectures, another woman would just kick him out. But he just depleted his energy, and he either doesn't want to replenish it or doesn't know how. But there's no difference. The result will be the same anyway, the destruction of life. And now he has to start a different life. He needs water, static exercises, prolonged continuous movement. If he doesn't do this, I don't know how long you'll last with him.
Because it turns out that I'm the only person who supports the whole family.
Do you have children?
Yes, children and elderly parents.
He's not working. Are you working alone for everyone?
How could he work when he had panic attacks and needed an ambulance 3 times a day? Well, when the doctor came to my husband, I asked, "Can I go crazy too? Is it contagious or not?" I was joking, but she said, "You know, you shouldn't joke about it. It might happen."
I thought these were jokes, but it turns out it's a normal response for doctors. Doctor, will I live? I wouldn't recommend it. These are typical doctor's responses. Well, that's a good idea, indeed. You might lose your mind too. Thank you, doctor.
Should I continue working hard for everyone?
Do you do all the healing practices? Do you stay in water, do static exercises, dynamic exercises?
I do spiritual practice in the lotus pose.
My dear, read the methodical guide and do all the practices.
Should I do everything according to it?
Yes, otherwise the doctor will be right. It's impossible for one woman to support the whole family and not replenish herself.
And my work is such that there are lots of people like my husband.
What kind of work?
I'm a teacher, and now school is like a branch of hell on earth.
And how can you support the whole family on a teacher's salary?
Somehow I do this. I'm running around like crazy from 8 in the morning until 9 in the evening.
My dear, you shouldn't live like this. It's better to live more modestly and restore your health. Otherwise, you simply won't make it.
I understand this, but will he somehow manage to work?
You need to be stricter with him. I'm telling you this as a teacher. Set conditions for him. Either live normally with me or manage on your own, and I'll file for divorce. You should set conditions if they're all living at your expense. The parents are elderly people and the children are small, but he's a grown man and should think with his head. You're not obligated to live for him. A man must work. If he can't, it means he needs to lead a healthy lifestyle. If he doesn't want to, then let him live on his own. It's got nothing to do with you.
I feel sorry for him.
This pity makes things even worse. Imagine what will happen to everyone if you break down. Therefore, you should reduce your workload now, focus more on a healthy lifestyle, and set conditions for your husband. You're spoiling him. In this case exactly, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You're not going to heaven now for these good intentions. You're spoiling him. He's degrading. My dear friends, kindness must be strict. Kindness is not permissiveness. Don't let people live at your expense. If you're kind, you should set conditions for people and don't let them live at your expense. If a man has enough money and his wife doesn't work, that's basically normal, but she still should be doing something, not just staring at the ceiling. She should take care of children or do something else. But a man must work. If he's not working, then you need to set conditions. And what conditions? You should start leading a healthy lifestyle. I'll advise you what to do, and then you'll gradually recover. But if you don't want to, then goodbye. You're not obligated to sacrifice your life for him. Do you understand?
I understand. Thank you. I'm trying to walk at least for 2 hours, as you said.
My dear, I didn't say that. I said read the methodical guide and do everything according to it.
Many years ago in a previous lecture, I was personally told this. Well, I mean, this is also good, right?
This is also good, but today I will explain in detail how it should be done. Not everyone should do it this way.
The joint in my right leg suddenly started hurting. Is this normal, Dr. Torsunov?
Yes, this is normal. Then other joints will start hurting too. Then you'll completely die. That's also normal. Everything should be done correctly. Today I'm going to explain how to do everything correctly so that nothing hurts.
Thank you very much.
Please take these things more seriously because there are certain patterns. If a person only walks, the result will be sad. You need to stay in water and do static exercise. You should do all of this. Let's take the last question and I'll start the lecture. The woman with glasses in the back.
I would like to ask a question about my son. How can I help him?
What's wrong with your son?
He has a mental illness.
We will talk about this today. If a person is ready to do healing practices that I will talk about today, then mental illness can be cured. But it takes approximately a year and 2-3 months. It's not something that can be cured in 5 minutes, but it can be cured. I will explain how this happens. The whole lecture will be about this today.
Please tell me, how can I make him do these healing practices? I try to speak kindly.
How can you make him do these healing practices? You should start doing them yourself, and through this you will influence him. There are 3 stages of overcoming fate. I will also talk about how to motivate loved ones and the process of this motivation. You can influence your loved ones through prayer and healing practices too. I will explain how to do this using examples from my own life as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's begin the lecture. It will be complex with many terms. People waste a lot of energy due to misunderstanding what life is. When a people think that happiness is about status quo, striving for a good apartment, car, comfort, coziness, and exhausting themselves because of this, then most often they get opposite results. They just experience tension and gradually lose even what they had. But if a person directs their life towards self-improvement, not towards survival, then they increase their piety through developing themselves as a person. Increasing devoutness raises a person's status in society, and they end up working much less later in life to achieve their goals. Or rather, it doesn't take as much effort to work to receive the same means as those people who live wrong. In other words, people who set survival or comfort and coziness as their goal gradually lose free time in life. They start working very hard to have a car or a house, exhaust themselves, and lose strength. And as a result of losing strength, they lose their status, even the one they have. They don't have the ability to work because they have no strength, and their life starts to fall apart later. But there is another approach to life. It is when a person doesn't strive to get what they want in life right now, but moves towards it unhurriedly. They work in a way to avoid tension and spend a lot of time on recovery, perform healing practices, prayer, good deeds, and thus increase their piety. And at some point, their earning capacity naturally becomes greater, because it depends on a person's piety and strength. Today we will talk about how to remove tension. What types of tension do men experience? Men mainly experience the willpower tension. Willpower tension leads them to smoking, drinking, and chasing women. A man doesn't know how to rest from the goal he sets for himself. His goal burns him out. And a woman is burned by emotions or desire for harmony, happiness, and love. She lives in these desires and her psyche becomes more and more emotionally tense. Her psyche begins to become more and more tense because she most often doesn't satisfy these desires and doesn't get what she wants. This also leads to female tension, which is mainly emotional. Female tension mainly leads to a woman becoming antisocial. She gradually isolates herself from people, from society. It's hard for her to communicate with certain categories of people, hard to work, hard to do anything. Gradually, some tasks that she used to perform with difficulty, she doesn't want to perform at all. Every woman has some activity that she doesn't like but needs to do. For example, some women don't like cooking, some don't like doing laundry, some don't like going to work, some don't like communicating with her husbands or something else. And when a woman is emotionally down, the first thing she does is decide to exclude from her life what she doesn't like. This exclusion of activities that she has to do leads to the destruction of social relationships. For example, she says, "I won't cook." And the husband says, "Then I won't live with you." And families break up this way. Tension is a very dangerous factor in modern culture and society. People are mostly all in a state of tension. I have dedicated many years to studying this topic. I have a clear idea of how a person should live correctly. And today we will talk about the methodology of how to replenish yourself, live happily, easily, freely, and beautifully. For this, a person needs to follow this methodology. As a result of bad fate, as a result of stress, the influence of events that happen in our life, people mainly fall into 3 states that severely drain their psyche. The first state is despair, or a strong feeling of injustice, resentment, and anger. This state depletes water energy. When water energy decreases, a person begins to experience increased sensitivity, vulnerability, anger, and irritability. In this case, inflammatory processes begin in the body, and the process of falling asleep is disturbed. Men often start drinking, women isolate themselves from everyone and try to spend more time alone. Despair leads to a lack of water energy and all the consequences that follow from this. The next emotion is fear. It mainly occurs in women. Also, despair manifests differently in men and women. In men, it most often turns into aggression and anger, and in women, most often into vulnerability, sensitivity, and resentment. While women fall into the emotion of fear, men mainly fall into the emotion of powerlessness or hopelessness. These 2 emotions lead to a very strong depletion of air energy in the body. When there is not enough air energy, most often people start drinking coffee or a lot of tea because their energy levels are greatly reduced. It's hard for them to get out of bed, hard to make themselves do anything, hard to get started, hard to concentrate and think, hard to work, hard to interact with each other. In personal life, people cool down. They have no contact. They don't feel love and interaction for each other. This happens due to lack of air energy. People lose depth of sleep. Sleep becomes very superficial. Lack of air energy disrupts the process of getting out of bed. A person tries to get themselves up on their feet, but can't. They can't get themselves out of bed. Therefore, accordingly, lack of air energy makes a person powerless. A person reconsiders their position on life. Such people start looking for another job and start treating themselves differently. They think that they can't do this or that. The next emotion. This is the emotion of disappointment in life or in people, or very strong negative emotions. Such people don't like anything. Everything is bad. They become disappointed in something, or they don't like their country. They want to move to America or Turkey, or they don't like the person they live with and become disappointed. Love disappears. People don't love each other. They say, "I don't love you." This means a lack of the energy of the sun. When a person experiences emotions of disappointment and negative emotions in general, they start eating like crazy late in the evening. They start gaining weight, their immunity suffers, benign tumors begin to appear, and then malignant ones. They become pessimistic, don't believe in anything, stop loving, and fall into depression. All of this is due to lack of the energy of the sun. The older a person gets, the faster their energy depletes. The very concept of fatigue increases with age. The older a person gets, the more attention they should pay to energy replenishment. The process of energy replenishment itself is not studied in modern medicine or even in psychology. This is a difficult concept for modern society to understand. People don't realize that they need to literally feed on nature's energy in order to replenish themselves. There is a system, a methodology that I've been developing for about 10 years. Now we are going to create a serious training program. We are creating Dr. Torsunov's school, and there will be training on how to replenish yourself. We are creating an educational program because there are people who want to be successful, who want to know everything in detail. But today I will briefly tell you about it. It's not a complicated system. Moreover, there is a methodical guide. If you follow everything according to the guide, in general it's easy to understand what to do and how. And if you can't figure it out by yourself, then you can use consultations. We give consultations on healthy lifestyle. There is a consultation section in the header of the website, and you can get a consultation and figure out how to do all of this individually. A person has 3 bodies. There is a spiritual body. It has 3 energies: eternity, knowledge, and happiness. The spiritual body is nourished by faith. When a person goes to a temple, prays, performs some spiritual service, and studies the scriptures, they are filled with the energies of eternity, knowledge, and happiness. That means that to be filled with the energy of spiritual happiness, a person should repeat God's names and pray. To be filled with the energy of knowledge, they should study the scriptures. To be filled with the energy of eternity, they should organize their life correctly according to the scriptures and follow the commandments. These spiritual energies are replenished through spiritual practice. The next body is the subtle energy body. We have a spiritual body, a subtle energy body, and a physical body. The subtle energy body is nourished by nature's energies. Just as the soul has the energy of eternity, knowledge, and happiness, the subtle energy body also has 3 energies. And the physical body is also nourished by 3 energies. These are the same energies, but they transform into physical forms. There is spiritual energy of eternity, knowledge, and happiness. On the subtle energy level, the energy of eternity transforms into prana energy. This is the energy of the vital air. You can feel it. I showed this during yesterday's lecture. Let's say you're sitting now and you think you don't have enough air. It's a bit stuffy, right? Who thinks there isn't enough air? There is enough air and enough oxygen, but there's not enough prana because we are not sitting outdoors. And prana is being heavily consumed when you're all thinking. Look here, now you'll feel better. And you will feel like everything is filled with air. People often confuse prana with air. You think you lack air, but it's prana that you lack. Let's raise our hands, put them like this, like we did yesterday. Look, we raise our hands like this. And observe. You will now feel how fresh it becomes inside. And I will perform pranayama, or prana exercises. Do you feel fresh now, right? Did you feel the air appear? Actually, the organizers turned on the fan at this time, and that's why the air appeared. Just kidding. I started doing pranayama, and you felt freshness inside. What you felt is prana. If you go outside, there will be 10 times more of it than here in this hall. Even despite this energetic boost, the prana is outside. Outdoors, prana has the ability to move, to circulate. As soon as you close the room, this possibility is gone. And prana remains in the room only residually. Through an open window, it also slowly makes its way in, but not as much as outdoors. Prana is the energy of air. It's not oxygen. Got it? And the subtle energy body needs it, but the physical body needs oxygen. The physical body needs oxygen, water, and food. Food is the energy of happiness. Oxygen is the energy of eternity, and water is the energy of knowledge. Similarly, the subtle energy body needs prana energy. This is the energy of eternity. Water energy is called ojas in Sanskrit. It is not water itself, but the energy of water. There is also tejas, the energy of the sun. The subtle energy body needs the energy of air, sun, and water. Health, success, workability, the ability to be together depend on the subtle energy body, because all these are activities of the subtle energy body, not the physical one. Therefore, all these functions of the human body are nourished by the energy of nature. People need the energy of nature, but they don't understand this at all. Neither doctors nor scientists, no one. They don't understand anything about this at all because these are subtle things, but it's very difficult to understand them. Is it clear? We still don't understand this matter. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.